Hello, in this video I'm going to show how you can travel around in the Elder Scrolls Online for free. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because there is a champion tree passive in the green tree that is called the Wanderer, where you can kind of chew up and eat up a lot of CP points here if you're not really understanding that this really is kind of worthless other than to fill in the 10 points. If you follow my system I'm going to show you here today in this video, I'm going to show you a lot of different ways that you can travel for free in this video. So if that's something you're interested in, please stay tuned in the video. I will put chapters if you want to jump around to listen to different points, but let's get into it. So obviously everybody knows and uses the Wayshrine travel system. You can travel around to just about anywhere, but as you can see, this is the last character that I created, and unapologetically doesn't have a lot of overland stuff done because I just don't use him for that. I don't do a lot of questing for this guy, and so in a lot of cases he's got virtually no Wayshrine discovery in zones, and so in a lot of cases, if I've never been there, for like example, Reaper's March is virtually non-existent except for up here in the town or maybe real close to here. I was probably going into the Vilemancy public dungeon there. Um, Another one is Malabal Tor. As you can see, there's no Wayshrine discovery here to speak of, really. So basically, I'm going to talk to you today how you can remedy this if you are on a new character or even if you're just getting started in the Elder Scrolls Online. I would recommend that you don't waste your CP points filling in this Wanderer passive, because that just basically what that is there for is if I was just standing out in the middle of nowhere and I wanted to travel to a known Wayshrine such as this, as you can see, there's a cost associated to recall to that location. And what that CP does is it reduces the cost to do that. Well, if we don't ever port in that manner, then that CP passive does absolutely nothing for us. So I'm going to talk to you about several different ways today in this video where you can negate even having to use that as a consideration for travel. So one of them is the add-on. I've done a video on this before, but it is called the House Hotkey. And why this is really nice, you can go into any of your houses that you own and you can make them a hotkey on your wheel that you pull up here like this. And for example, I have the Northern Elsewhere house, which is located right here in the center of town. And a nice feature of this add-on is you can choose to either jump inside of the house or jump outside. So for this one, I have it selected to jump outside of the Rimmen Sugar Bowl apartment, which it only costs 3,000 gold, I believe, to purchase it. So I highly recommend, if you have access to Northern Elsewhere, purchase that house. Even if that's all you're going to use it for, I will demonstrate that now, how nice it is. You can just use this house hotkey and port right to the house on the outside. And why I'm bringing this specific location up is because it is literally right next to a Wayshrine, and you'll be able to see that here in just a second. I'm going to land at the house and basically walk down these steps right here, and the Wayshrine is right here. So this is the very quickest way to just port from anywhere to get to a Wayshrine, and then once you're at a Wayshrine, then you can access the Wayshrine system if that's something that you need to. So that's how you can get to a Wayshrine really quickly. But what if you're like this guy and he doesn't have any discovery at all in the zone? So for example, I'm going to talk about, let's go to Reaper's March again. There's virtually nothing here that I've done in the zone, but there's Wayshrines. Maybe there's an activity. Maybe I want to get lore books for the Mages Guild. Maybe I want to get sky shards for skill points. Who knows? Maybe there's just an activity that I'm farming and there's only one drop per day per character, and I need to get to farm something in this area. Well, I'm going to introduce you to a really quick way of getting there, and that is by using the home tours system. You do not have to own these houses. You can port to the outside of, or port inside of them, and then just walk out the front door. So for example, right now I do not have access to this raw call Wayshrine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use home tours. We're going to go to Sleek Creek House in the home tours. If you're not familiar how to get there, you go into this menu here, your main menu, go down to the activities finder. Home tours is at the very bottom of this first activity finder menu. We're going to go in the home tours and we're going to into the browse homes menu. From there, we're going to hit the all filters button, which is for PlayStation, it's the square button. You'll have to figure out which is your corresponding button on your platform. So now we're going to go down to all houses, and then we're going to look for the Sleek Creek house. And once we get there, we're going to select that, and we're just going to back out of this menu, and then we're going to confirm. So on PlayStation, that's the square button, and that's going to list every edition of the Sleek Creek house that people have loaded for home tours to be able to tour. So what we're going to do from here is we're just going to hit visit home, and it's going to port me for free to that house because it's just like traveling to your house or anybody else's house. You can port there from just about anywhere unless you are in a PvP zone and you're not standing at one of the wayshrines that are at your home base. So for example, now we are inside this person's house. You can tour it if you want to, or you can just turn around and walk right out the front door. And this is going to port you to Reaper's March because it's an owned house. It's not something that you're just touring in the Crown Store. You can do this on any character and in any zone where there's a house nearby. So as I said, we're going to run right over here to this Wayshrine, and we're going to reveal it so that we can take use of it in the future for whatever activity that we want to use it for. So raw call is discovered, and then we're just going to rock over here, and we're going to reveal the Wayshrine as well. So now I just revealed that Wayshrine. As you can see, I'm getting XP while I'm doing this. So if you've got skills that you need to level up, or maybe skill lines that you want to level up, maybe you want to put, let's put just this bow here, a dual wield skill. We'll level up Blade Cloak. We'll put on Stampede and maybe Cleave. And also, again, with these skill lines, you can load up both bars because we get XP on both the front and the back bar. So that is something that you can do as well, is you can load up both bars with the skills. And then when you port to the next area that's going to give you XP, you'll be loading or increasing the XP for that. So here's another Wayshrine right over here near the Serenity Falls estate. I don't have access to that. I could run over there, but Reaper's March, quite honestly, is one of the bigger pain in the butts to get around because of the terrain. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to this house and do the same thing. So we're going to go into home tours just like we did before. And again, you can do this on any character. It doesn't have to be your main or any. You don't have to travel to anybody. Nobody else has to be online while you're doing this. You can do this at 2 in the morning when virtually nobody is playing the game. You can do it all by yourself. You don't have to ask anybody to port you anywhere. You can just do it and then run around in that zone. Get all the sky shards if you want to. Get the delve bosses or the delve sky shards, the public dungeon. You can get a lot of work done on an alternate character that you're trying to develop up to CP level. You can get a lot of that stuff done and worked out by just doing this. So here again, I'm just going to walk out the front door, and I'm going to be right near that Wayshrine to be able to go grab it for discovery. So that's going to be one of the best and most effective ways to travel in this game, because it doesn't require anybody to assist you. You can literally just walk right over here and reveal it, and it's that quick. So the other thing that I'm going to talk about is you can also always port to guildmates in your guild. And how you do that is you just go to one of your guild mates here, find out an area that you want to go to, and you can just travel to your guildmate. You can ask them to jump to a specific location and help you out that way if that's needed, but honestly, with the systems that I'm showing you in here, that's going to enable you to jump around the map really easily without having to basically need assistance from anybody while doing this. The other thing that I'm going to show you and talk about that maybe not be shown or discussed very much is the docking system in the game. Very easy to kind of overlook and not notice or use, but any of these areas where you see the anchor, these have a specific function. So we're just going to drop into David's Watch over here, and while I'm talking, I will kind of go over why these are helpful, especially on new characters where you don't have a whole lot of Wayshrine discovery, or if you're trying to get to a specific zone for a mission, or just work on questing, or just if you're brand new to the game, this is really helpful as well. So you can just walk down here to the main dock in the David's Watch zone area. Wherever there are docks in the game, you can see them on the map. They all have these icons here, and they will, if you hover over them, they will tell you where they will port you to, but you can also run down here and interact with them. There are certain ones where you can't port everywhere in the game, but if you walk up to them, they will port you to specific areas. So a lot of times it's these little boats sitting here like this. So this one will travel you directly to Deshawn in Mournhold. There's another boat over here off of this dock. This one will take you to the Gold Coast. So it just depends on where you're at and where you can actually port to. But here's a navigator here. You can talk to them, and this one will take you to Somerset. This one, for example, will take you to Vivec City, which is in Vardenfell. And then this navigator will take you to another alliance or somewhere within the Ebonheart Pact. So if you wanted to go to the Rift or Deshawn, you can go there. Or you can travel to another alliance. You can pick Aldemary, and it will take you to Auradon. But that is the dock system. And then, of course, as always, if you just have a house, you can just click on the icon like that, and you can either travel inside or outside. But that is an easy and fast way to get around really quickly in this game. It doesn't matter which zone it is. They virtually have just about every zone has a house you can jump to. For example, here's Agony's Descent in the Deadlands. Not a place where you would think there would be a lot of real estate, but lo and behold, there is Agony's Descent. We can go, or Agony's Ascent. We can back up right there, confirm that, and right there's a house we can go visit, and we can walk right outside the front door and get a Wayshrine revealed. And then you can port to the Deadlands if you want to, and you don't have to use the one that's in Blackwood, and it ports you to that start out point. Maybe you want to get to the top of the map like I'm going right now. And that's a really quick and easy way to do that. You can just go into somebody's house just like this, turn around and leave, and it works just that easy. You can do this on any character. It doesn't cost you any gold. It doesn't cost you anything other than the time to just go into the menu and select the house. So this, as I said, you're going to walk right over here to the Wayshrine, and you're going to reveal this Wayshrine for pretty much no time. It's the Analarch's Summit Wayshrine, just got discovered as well. So maybe you're farming the Sky Shards up here, and you didn't want to run all the way from the Blood Pit Wayshrine. This is the Wayshrine I believe you get started at if you just port to the portal through the Deadlands, or the Blackwood. I don't remember. But that is going to be the video. I just wanted to give you some quick top ways to travel around in the game. As always, if you are grouped with people, you can travel within your group members wherever they're at. especially helpful if they're already in a dungeon or a trial and that's where you're headed. But these are some of the ways that you can skirt and avoid having to pay any gold for traveling around. Save your CP for the other quality of life improvements that you can get from this green tree. There's a lot of stuff that's passive that's really helpful and nice to have turned on. So just fill in the 10 points here and just ignore it otherwise. If you still are working on your crafting on your character, then you definitely want to use this inspiration leg as well. But this right here is the way that I get up to the rest of the tree is I just put 10 points in and move on up. So that would be my recommendation on how to do that. If you thought this was helpful or interesting, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I have a large catalog of videos on my YouTube channel. If you go to my main page and click on the playlist tab, you'll be able to find all of that stuff there. If I've used a couple of add-ons in here, as I mentioned, I will put a link to my add-ons playlist in the description in case that's something of interest. Thank you again for watching. I will see you in another video. Bye.